If you're given 10 million but could never work in SEO again, what would you do?
I went through about 16 cars in 3 years. Cars.
What? Before Sarjari, did you start any business which failed or it was a flop show maybe?
24 months and there's no results.
What is the biggest scam right now, do you think, in SEO?
The biggest scam is glossy report. You're probably looking at like a $60,000 investment. Very difficult. They're just always asking questions and never ever sharing any knowledge themselves.
You call them leechers. What do you think is the easiest way to enter in casino?
It's even tougher again, right? It's like a level of toughness.
If you want to start a link building agency, this is the right time.
Very difficult. We ended up having to pay £2,000-3,000 where ISPs might ban domains. You don't give a shit.
And it is actually motivating you to play casino. Do you hide your PBNs from Hrefs and SEMrush?
We are actually scared to touch it.
Hello everyone, I welcome you back to my channel, and today this is the part 2 with Karl Hudson. If you haven't still watched the part 1, I recommend you to click the link and go and watch the part 1 first. That will lay the foundation of what we're going to talk about in this episode 2. In this part 2, Karl pulled back the curtain of real business of SEO, how the SEO business works, how the link building strategies work. He tells about the link building strategies that move the needles and move the rankings like anything. He also tells about how you can flip websites and make websites which can be flipped like digital real estate. He also tells that how he'd make $50,000 from scratch if you have to start today, where to invest in 2025, and the underrated business models which no one is talking about. So stay tuned in this podcast, listen carefully, stay subscribed and like the video. Also share this video with anyone whom you think can benefit from this. Thank you guys, stay tuned. Let's get into it. Now let's talk about that how SEOs or marketers can make money from casino, okay? So tell me, if we want to enter into a casino SEO or maybe casino marketing, just let it be broad so that you have more options to answer with, right? So what do you think is the entry point right now, and what budget should I be expecting to spend? Like, I decided, okay, I want to do casino SEO, I want to start casino marketing because I've seen here the money is. So what is the right expectation for the audience, that if someone, because mostly SEOs are checking out our videos or maybe someone, so they should have a clear idea that this is the right way to approach it, this is the right budget you need, it requires this much commitment. So what is that for
I
the
would say as
clarity?
a bare minimum. The hard part is the answer is yeah, it depends, but I hate that answer, obviously. Um, I would say as a bare minimum, you're looking at spending probably ballpark of 10,000 a month US to just kind of start making a dent within probably a 6-month period. So you're probably looking at like a $60,000 investment to be able to get on page one. Now, I'm not necessarily saying you're making money at this point, but at least you're on page one. Now, again, it just all depends on the levels of partnership. So if you then look at, I would say don't come out the box and go straight for SEO. Come into it and go for paid ads. Why? Because you're going to get quicker return. Yes, it's going to cost
Yeah,
more, but you're going to start to learn the niche.
correct.
Um, if you can then make money from the paid ads, guess what? You've already got a winning formula now. Now you can use
Yeah.
that data. You can make sure your user signals are all good. You can make sure time on site, long clicks, short clicks, all of this. Make sure the content's great. Make sure the conversion process is all nailed. Your basically everything to do with user signals, CRO is all on point. And then guess what? That makes the life of SEO even easier. Now
Easy,
create the
yes.
landing pages, and those landing pages are perfectly optimized for keywords. You already have all the user flow and metrics because of the paid ad data, and then you can also use the paid ads to push these landing pages as well. So it's just generating all these user signals and important brand signals. And Google's seeing all of this data in AdWords, within analytics or Chrome, etc. They're seeing all of this data and understanding that actually this site is good. This site is, it's got good user metrics. Let's give it a chance at ranking. And
Yes,
then
yes,
in
yes.
time, obviously, hopefully at that point you're making money and then you can reinvest that money. But I would definitely say like paid ads or employing an affiliate manager and having him reach out to various other affiliates and creating rev share deals, things like this. Now, the only hard part is the affiliate market got destroyed. And I mean, if you weren't a big player with a big brand name, you got slapped to kingdom come. And I think that's difficult in this industry. Obviously, affiliate is a lot tougher now. I
Correct.
think affiliate and SEO in general is just tougher in
Yes.
general.
Yes.
But
Yes.
obviously, when it's already a tough industry, it's even tougher
Mm.
again, right? It's like a level
Mm.
of toughness.
Correct. Correct.
So yeah, reaching out, I would probably go that route first if I was honest. I would go paid ads first. If you
Mm.
don't know paid ads, hire a paid ads guy because it'll
Mm.
be fundamental in terms of
Do you think the keywords if we find any low hanging fruits, just you said the winning formula in Google Ads. So if we find something that this the CPC is less and we have clicks or impressions, can we use that strategy in SEO, right? Maybe we can use
exactly.
then we can make an SEO strategy out of the Google Ads data, right?
That's what I preach to everyone is Google Ads data is your data bank. Don't rely on obviously Search Console data is great, but don't rely on
Mm-hmm.
like trends or Ahrefs data.
Mm-hmm.
Fire up a
Mm-hmm.
Google AdWords account. Often they have a great deal on give us $2,400, I think it is at the moment,
Yeah.
and we'll give you
Yes.
$2,400 for free.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yes.
you've got essentially $5,000, just shy of $5,000 there to play with on Google Ads. You can get a lot of
Mm.
data. Well, you can also spend a lot of,
Right.
especially in gambling,
Right.
you'll spend a lot of that.
Yes.
But if you're
Yes.
managing it correctly, you should be able to get a lot of data back on what
Yes.
impressions people are searching for and, CTR of your often the CTR from the ads. This is another little trick that I'd be looking to do is test your page titles within your ads within the ad groups because you
Oh.
can get CTR data back instantly from
Mm-hmm.
Google and
Mm-hmm.
equivalent. So you know this is a good page title because it is what was shown in your Google ad and you've got the data
Very
there.
good. Very good. Very good. I
That's
think this
like
is
a
a
little
very
tip
cool.
I would suggest doing.
But I think I can use this in any industry. It's not just casino or iGaming. This is a very good thing. I'll use it. Thank you. I'll
I would
mark the
use it.
clip.
I would use it, and it's something I preach
Yeah.
to everyone: is
Yeah.
use Google like any business I go into. Google Ads is a first. Like for instance, I set up a HVAC business with my brother. This was actually quite a funny story. So my brother's a AC engineer, and
Oh
last
wow.
year, not last year, 3 years ago now. 3 years ago, we set up a business, and ranked obviously locally fine. We were number one within. I think we indexed at like position four or something. It was like obviously so easy. It's like local. Then
Yeah.
all I did was I set up paid ads straight away, and we spent I think £2,000 in the first 60 days on paid ads. Now
Mhm.
it got to a point. My brother in the first week rang me saying turn them off because he had that much work coming in. Obviously,
Correct.
it
Correct.
just
Correct.
coincidental that it was the
Mhm.
summer. So obviously, the UK summer, we
Mhm.
don't get it very often.
Correct.
But it was just a funny story because he was like, turn them off. I'm like, turn them off. We're turning them up. We're turning them up. Deal with it. You have to learn how to deal here. But I think like that feedback, obviously, it taught us what keywords to go for. It taught us like we could see what keywords are worth running for, and oftentimes it's quite confusing because you look and you go, why on earth is that converting? Like that makes
Yes.
no
Yes.
sense.
Sometimes it's very surprising. What you think it will never work works, and whatever you think
Exactly,
will work it doesn't work.
exactly.
I've seen
Like
that.
some people go like, for instance, in the air conditioning installer, and they think
Yeah.
that is exactly the keyword I want to run for. Guess what? That keyword has maybe £10 a click, but actually
Yeah.
it is air conditioning
Yeah.
engineer for
Yeah.
install, and it has a
Yes.
pound
Or maybe AC repair or maybe
AC
HVAC.
exactly something like that,
Yeah,
exactly that, and
because
it's
I'm into
like
this industry. I'm doing this actually. That's why I know water
that's
heater
what I mean.
repair. Yeah, yeah. I'm totally into local. A lot of like 90% of our clients are local SEO. So yeah, that's what
Exactly.
we do.
So
Local
that's
ads and
like
stuff. Yeah,
fundamental, I would say,
yeah.
to designing a great, again, because also that business is then able to run it. Obviously,
Yeah.
the way algorithms work, and we mentioned this at the start, it is up and it is down. It
Mm.
is up and
Yes.
it is down. So if you can make it stable because you're spending money now, obviously level of spend is going to go up and down based on
Mm-hmm.
industry and seasonality. But if you can still break a profit from that spend, guess what? You then have a
Hmm.
business. You have something
Correct.
that isn't reliant on this algorithm. And
Then
then
it's
you've got
about the
social
scaling
media.
part. Then you should scale.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then you
Yeah.
can do social media ads. Now,
Yeah.
again, that it's something that I would say get an expert in because I'm most certainly not an expert when it comes to social media ads. In fact, I try to avoid them like the plague. But I do want to learn them, obviously, just because of a curiosity as being a marketer. But
Mm.
again, it's like kind of picking your lane. SEOs are SEO, I
Mm.
do Google AdWords and I do SEO and like it's a big lane. It's a big, big, big lane. There's a lot
Yeah.
of knowledge to know and keep on
Yes,
top of.
yes.
And
I've seen that the best part about casinos, casino marketers or casinos SE or casino marketers overall is that they are very, very creative people because it's
Mm.
not very easy. I've actually seen Facebook meta ads, Instagram ads where you run through an article and then there's an arbitrage happening in the article and then it takes to your website. It looks like an information, but from the information, it is actually motivating you to play casino. So the copy is sometimes great and the strategy. I was like, these are genius guys. So
often
it's
they
it.
have like cloaked time delays and stuff like that because
Yeah,
obviously they have to
yeah,
circumvent the Facebook bot,
yeah,
which will see the
yeah.
content of the page.
Correct,
Then they
correct,
also have to
correct.
circumvent the user who might be manually
Yeah,
checking. So
yeah,
there's
yeah.
there's loads of
Amazing.
obviously interesting
Yeah,
black, and this is
yeah.
the one thing I loved about the space was I love going into a room where I'm the thick guy in the room. Like I love
Mhm.
that because I'm like, wow, I
Mhm.
want to learn here. I feel like a
Yes.
little child in this room.
Yeah.
And like there was so many times where I would go into rooms with like really knowledgeable, way more knowledgeable than me people who are
Yeah.
doing some dodgy stuff though. And I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, wow, this is good. But
This is
then you don't
amazing.
realize how much you've leveled up when you go to
Yeah.
like you go into a room with standard people and all of a sudden you're the guy that they're all like, wow,
Yeah.
he's got so much information.
Yeah.
And it's only because
Yeah.
you've been absorbing it from all of these other people, right?
Correct. A lot of questions are again coming up in my mind. Okay, I'll keep it short. Okay, so let's talk about casino SEO and cloaking. So, do you think that in casino SEO cloaking works, or have you tried cloaking in casino SEO or iGaming SEO? Similar.
Yeah, so obviously Cloaking, it just depends on the area of SEO that you're in. So obviously Cloaking has a huge application when it comes to paid ads.
Mm-hmm.
Primarily because obviously you're trying to circumvent systems that obviously Google's applying.
Correct.
And if you can get through
Mm-hmm.
that eligibility factor criteria, guess what? You make a hell of a lot more money. So it makes sense to go through that. But when it comes
Mm-hmm.
to like SEO and ranking, it is a lot more difficult in the regulated industries, as in it pretty much you're going to get found out. And guess what? You don't want to get found out in those industries because the fines
Then you're
are
gone.
astronomical. Like they
Oh.
will bankrupt you type thing.
Mm. Okay.
However, in Indonesia, places like this, it is
Mm-hmm.
like fundamental. You where ISPs might ban domains, etc. You need to be able to on the fly do cloaking, do 301 redirects, blocking IP addresses. Like all of this sort of stuff is happening on the fly and is happening every other day or every third day in these industries because often, a government employee sees the website, it gets flagged to the ISP's banned the website. You have to either spin up another website or you can get it indexed on Google AMP servers, which then means that on mobile, the website's still there and isn't banned yet, but it
Wow.
might come. So again, you're still looking at always moving. And
Yeah.
it's good and it's obviously very good money, but I don't know how long you could do that before you start getting burnt out. If I'm being
Wow.
honest, like that's a lot to
Yeah.
like a lot to
Mm.
gamble with
Yes.
as well. And then often in these countries, I wouldn't want to get the police knocking on my door in some of these countries.
Correct.
So I would try and just, yeah, I would be careful. That's all. That's the main thing I would be suggesting. There is many black hat techniques out there in
Mhm.
tactics, and PBNs are still fundamental when it comes to casino as well, because and so are hacked sites, hacked links, because
Mm.
hacked link providers typically are cheaper,
Mm.
and PBNs are often cheaper. You can pick up a PBN and link it to six of your casino sites, and guess what? That PBN's pretty much paid for itself. Or you link
Mm.
to like three or four, like it depends how much you're picking your PBNs up for, but
Mm.
often the cost of a guest post is going to be way more than
Yes.
a
Yes.
PBN, than one
In
PBN.
casino and yes, yes, correct.
So it's all down to like
Mm.
it's down to how far you want to go down the rabbit hole, if I'm being
Mhm.
honest, because
Correct.
I often would be connected. So if I went when I first started going to conferences and things, I'd be looking to connect with, people who are PBM providers, people who are domain sellers, ODYS, SEO domains, Colin, Alex
Mm.
Drew, obviously of ODYS. Connect with these guys, start chatting to them. A lot of the time, they might have infantry that didn't make their cut, but is probably still fine for a casino site. So guess what? Oh, I'll
Mhm.
take that. What do you have
Very
that
good.
you might be getting rid of? I'll take that. And again, it's just building up that, spending as little as possible, but trying to get the biggest bang for buck.
Very good. I have a question which is actually from a very long time. It's in my mind, and I wanted to ask you that I've seen like whenever like I do a lot of auction domains for my stuff and even for my clients, and when I go and check most of the domains, it's very stereotyped that it's in our filters. It's in every agency filter that first check the web archive. It is a casino website made, and then you go and don't skip that domain. So my question is like, are casinos so aggressive, like SEOs especially working in casinos are so aggressive that every site they come across, every domain they come across, they think that let's ramp it up with casino? Is it that churn and burn happening at a very large scale? What is your take on that?
I think some casinos do, especially ones in unregulated territories. They're literally because you can rank, like, let's say it's a hotel and it's got a GMB, you can
Mm-hmm.
ramp up that website and you can have it ranking very quickly for casino terms because it's like a
Mm-hmm.
local business. It's already got the previous history. Your GMB will rank, and then guess what? Anyone who's typing that in as well, it's like branded traffic, so it's then coming through to the casino.
Mm-hmm.
So that's primarily the reason for that is it's often quicker, especially if it already has a GMB in place. It's often quicker to get that site indexed and running quicker than it
Very
would
good.
be without. So yes, it's commonplace, but again, I would never, unless it's been spammed to death, I would never necessarily let that put me off when I was buying the domain, especially if I was in a casino in the first place. But they might have
Mm-hmm.
already done half the job for me. It just depends on, was it indexed at the time or did they get a de-index? So again, you'd be looking into link patterns at the time and stuff like that. And how long ago was it? Chances are, if it was too long ago, it was probably spammed by GSAX rumor, stuff like that.
Correct,
If
correct,
it was in the last, yeah, let's say 5 to 6 years, chances are it might not have been spammed as much because obviously those
correct.
two kind of started dropping off a little bit. So yeah, it's just hard to say without giving too much away, but I think the good thing with the casino industry is I learned very quickly that um, it's not all about relevancy. It's not all about link power. It's more just about getting damn links, man. Like you need links. You just need like you don't want to be fussy in that industry, man. Like fussiness will not get you anywhere. And I try
Correct,
to
correct,
repeat this
correct.
to many casino owners. And at the end of the day, you look at some of the biggest casinos on the planet. Like look at their
Hmm.
link profiles. They don't give a shit. They're
Everything,
just
we take everything.
they'll take anything. Yet for
Yeah.
whatever reason, you're the SEO and being picky. I don't get it. Why? Like I can point out 10 competitors that have this link, but you've just told me it's bad. Like
It's
But
very different. It's very different, yeah. And even I've seen people taking EDU links, people taking links from any hacked websites, plugins, especially in WordPress. They hack when we see a hacked plugin, it always goes to casinos. So people are doing everything. I don't know it is working, if it is not working, but people do everything in their power to get links. It's not easy actually. It's a what do you think? Do you agree with me?
no, 100%. I think in the casino market, it's so expensive for links that that's why they
Mhm.
go to hacked plugins. That's why they go to, the dark web on nulled forums and buy
Correct.
huge lists of usernames and passwords and are brute forcing them
Yeah.
way into sites and stuff like that. It's the whole reason for it is the industry is so expensive. And obviously, if they can
Mhm.
get a link for cheap, makes
Why
sense,
not?
right? Exactly.
Yeah. Do these sites survive for a long time? Like, what is the right strategy?
It just depends. So it depends on how it's linking to you. Obviously, depending on what tools you're utilizing as well, because some tools will be blocked. So again, it's always worth having a multi-set of tools. Again, it's
Mhm.
always worth looking at server logs and seeing
Mm.
referrers, because
Mhm.
often you might actually find that what the referrer was from a hacked website source, and then in
Mhm.
that sense you'll be able to actually do something about it. If it's part of your website that's being hacked, the server logs will help you understand that shit, something's been, so this shouldn't be getting crawled. What is this? We actually had it
Mm.
recently on a business that we've just bought into, and they were ranking for really good terms, like top five in the UK for like a 22K search volume,
Wow.
£64 CPC cost, I think it was, something ridiculous. Anyway,
Mm.
and within a couple of weeks of us noticing this and signing the deal, all of a sudden they're page two, and I'm like, well, we've done nothing yet. We've just signed the deal. Something is going on here. So then I
Yeah.
start looking into it, and it turns out the site, which was built on a 2017 WordPress theme, has been hacked, and
Oh.
there's a bunch of subfolders that are 301 redirecting to casinos. And guess what? I figure this out, remove them. Obviously, I'm currently in the process of annoyingly rewriting a theme that's that old. Is obviously more difficult.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
rewriting that is obviously a little bit more difficult, but we're busy in the process of doing that now and doing a whole new site and a new theme. But he's
Mhm.
now back on page one. That website's now back on page one.
It's too much information. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Carl, you know so much about casino SEO.
Mm.
Seriously, your experience, your passion lies here. It is very evident. You cannot hide it.
To be fair,
Amazing.
I love SEO. If I'm being honest, I love I think this is what I often when I speak to people, I preach that it's not about the it's not about the huge ranking of the big keywords. It's about these small little micro changes that you can make that compound
Yeah,
over time.
correct,
So,
correct.
if you're aiming for a 1% improvement on impressions this week, well, there's
Mm.
52 weeks in
Mhm.
a year.
Yeah,
In
yes,
in 52 weeks' time, you're going to be 52% better off than where you were 52 weeks
correct,
ago. But if
correct.
you do that in combined fashion across all of these different pages and keywords, it's huge.
Alright, time for a sponsor break. This episode is proudly sponsored by Kings Digital, the marketing agency that I, your host, Gundeep Singh Grover, co-founded. At Kings Digital, we specialize into scaling businesses, optimizing growth strategies, and turning your ideas into brands that people can't stop talking about. You might be thinking self-promotion in your own podcast? Well, that's quite bold. That's because that's exactly what we do for our client. Bold strategies that bring results. So if you're a business owner or an agency wants to level up your marketing, your processes, whether it's SEO, ads, social media, performance marketing, we're building a killer brand presence for you. If you want us to audit your website or your ads campaign, just fill up the form below. We will get back to you with a full-blown SEO audit, a complete 6 to 12 months SEO roadmap tailored to your business, and a step-by-step video walkthrough breaking down exactly how to fix and scale your organic traffic. This isn't some cookie cutter checklist. Trust me, our team spends an entire day crafting this report. Trust me, if we're good enough to sponsor ourselves, we're probably good enough to help you crush your goals. Alright, that's enough of us now. Now let's get back to the show. From the whole conversation, I can see that you're a very analytical person. Am I right?
Mm.
It's
Yeah, I
it's
think
very important for you.
you almost have to be when it comes to SEO, right? So
Right.
you should be
Yes.
looking at impressions, clicks, data. And now I would say I'm not the most, I'm technical in a sense that if you compare me to some of my business partners, you would think I was the dev. I'm technical in the sense like it's not worth
Yeah.
me doing, if that makes sense. Especially if I'm
Yes. Yes.
only going to do it half-assed, where it's probably not going to work. I'd rather just get someone else to do it.
Amazing, amazing. Any insane SEO strategy which has worked in casino? You shared a lot of insights, but anything which you have in mind you want to share?
So the one strategy that is probably been done to death anyway, but it was really good at the time, was obviously to reduce costs. What you'd often do is you'd build links to like a sub page on your casino brand, which
Mm-hmm.
might be about something completely random, and then you could 301 that page through to your main page. That was something that was quite good because you'd often get the links for cheaper. Or what you would do is a 301 strategy where you would build up links to a certain, just a completely different domain, and then you would
Wow.
act like you've purchased the domain, doing like a press release strategy on your own website that you've acquired this domain. You then 301
Acquisition.
redirect,
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
301 redirect
Yeah.
that in, internally link through to your main money
Wow.
pages. That's something
Wow.
that
Two small questions here. One, that is it still works? And second, how long is the effect?
if it still works, I haven't been doing that sort of stuff in about a year, year and a half. I would say I don't see why it wouldn't still work because it's links and it's a link ghosting effect. Um,
Mm-hmm.
two, how long would the effect last for? We often see, well, we were ranking for like 7 years and we were doing some of these strategies on some of the sites. And we actually, funny enough, we actually had one of the main guys. So we launched a website. It was EMD. So we often did EMD strategies, exact match domains for people
Yeah, I
listening.
know. Yes,
Um,
absolutely.
so we often launched AMD sites, and
Mhm.
one of the sites we had was we launched it and we came in position 5 or 6. And I actually knew the SEO who was the main SEO for the casinos who we were fighting for the keyword space.
Uh-huh.
And eventually, within about, I think it was a month or two, we went number one, and they were
Mm-hmm.
just they did not know how we did. He was saying, dude, what have you done, because you've only got 50 RDs, you're number one,
Mm-hmm.
these guys are spending, like, they had 1,000 RDs, they're spending a
Mm-hmm.
fortune, and just asking all the time. And a lot of the strategies were like what we've chatted about, finding decent PBNs, doing acquisitions, and doing 301 redirect. So there's always a lag factor in the sense that Ahrefs has to pick up that redirect as well. So you
Correct.
can almost cloak those redirects, but Google's seeing them. So they're blocked in
Mhm.
Ahrefs, but Google's seeing them.
Yeah. Yes, yes, yes.
So it's also quite a good. Obviously, you can that just because you cloak it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to block it from showing, because obviously all that will
Yeah.
end up happening is when when Ahrefs reindexes the links that are going to
Mhm.
that redirect, it'll see
Mm.
that that is then redirecting
Mm.
to you. But there's a lag factor, so it
Yeah.
looks like
Yeah.
you do it with nothing, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, I get it. And there are other tools like people hide people put script to in the robots that the HRFs cannot crawl, the SEMrush cannot crawl, but eventually there are more tools, right? And I think people would scan from there as well. Do you think that hiding works? Do you hide your PBNs from HRFs and SEMrush? Do you?
Not really, because there's a billion tools out there nowadays that someone will find them. So I don't bother. I also think it's a bit of a footprint if you're blocking. But I try to, my rule of thumb is footprint elimination. So
Mhm.
don't make a footprint. And in essence, if you're trying to intentionally not make a footprint, you're making a footprint. So don't block
Mhm.
Ahrefs, don't block SEMrush. Like, that's just
Very
common
good.
shit that an SEO would
Very
do,
good.
right?
Very
Like,
good.
just don't do it. Like, try and
Mhm.
be natural with everything. Do follow links, no follow links. Like, don't
Mm.
always link out doing do follow, do no follows. Like stuff like this is just what usually my phrase is, would an SEO do it? Yes. Don't do it.
Don't do it. Wow. Very,
Do it
very
all.
good. Very, very good. Common sense.
Common sense. Like, would a
Yeah.
brand do it? Yes. Then do it. Would a business owner do it? Yes. Then do it. Would an SEO do it who's only been taught the one way of doing it to try and game the algorithm? They probably don't do it.
You know what you just said? I have seen this last year. From last year, I've seen a lot of in the updates. After updates, I've seen a lot of dumb sites or dumb SEO coming up. So in some cases, we've intentionally done dumb SEO when things are not perfect, things are not actually right, or it is
We,
imperfect.
we
Those sites are
honestly,
actually performing better.
we have a gambling site right now, and obviously I'm not going to share the site name, but we spent me and Dooley, James Dooley, business partner, we spent a lot of money buying 33% of the site, or 40%, is a percentage of the site, and this site defies every SEO standard out there. It's on WordPress, it's got tags, it's got categories, it's got search query strings, all indexed. It is a clusterfuck, right, of problems. But it
Okay.
ranks. It got we'd never built a link. It got a manual action penalty for a link, and we'd never
Oh,
ever built a link, right? And
okay.
despite having that manual action penalty, if we built a new page of content, it would rank on page one.
Wow. This
It
is
was like
crazy.
that, and we are actually, this is funny because we are actually scared to touch it because we'll apply SEO knowledge to it and it
And
might
it'll,
break it.
yeah,
Like,
it'll break.
so it's like,
Don't
what do
touch
we
it.
do? Like, we almost like don't want to touch it, but at the same time, we obviously we got the manual action lifted. That was easy enough. But like, it's kind of like, do we tidy up the tag pages? Like, they were using tags for internal links, so most of the articles don't have any internal links. It's all tags.
It all that,
Well,
yeah.
if we
Yeah.
start removing tags, there's 40,000 pages of content here that is then all orphaned. So it's like,
Yeah.
what can you? It's just tricky. It's like it's too much
You
work.
cannot touch it. I don't think you can touch. I don't think you can touch it right now. It's you're
Exactly,
right. You can
exactly.
go.
So
Yeah.
what we're trying to do is essentially develop new content areas on the site, which is under the new, so under a physical silo structure and under a new sort of SEO knowledge sort of base, and then that way at
You'll
least it's
be
under a new
semantic
silo
into it.
structure as well.
Yeah.
And then see what happens from there. That's essentially the strategy we're going with. It's safer than sorry is the key.
Yeah, no, very good. So, what do you think about tags? My question is about tags. Is that I've seen a lot of in a lot of porn websites, tags work, and it still works. In casino, does it work?
Now, casino is difficult because again, it just depends on what you're using. We didn't really use them at all because we would just do internal linking. Now, I personally am more of a fan of internal links and making sure that you justify the reason for the internal link. It's not just plonked on a page. Now, the problem is obviously tags and like related posts at the bottom is often just plonked on a page. So I think it would work still. Like everything will work within reason. It's just if you're scaling up and have thousands and thousands of pages, does it then become a problem? Probably.
Very well. Okay. So now moving forward, I think you quite exhausted now. I think it's a very long. I can see, right? So
This is
I'll
quite
skip a lot of.
this is quite a
Yeah,
good
but it was,
intro.
yeah, the discussions were going very good. So yeah, I can see that your energy and even mine is going down. But I'm so happy that you've been sharing a lot of stuff. I'll just skip to the major parts because we've covered a lot of stuff, and I think we can take out multiple podcasts out of it. One can be completely on casino, one can be completely on the initial stuffs. Yeah. So I'll just cover up upon. So let's just talk about flipping and digital investing now. Okay. So as a digital investor, right, what is the exact process you find about flipping websites? Do you like it?
I personally don't because I quite enjoy keeping assets, especially when they're making money. So I try to avoid I
Hmm.
don't mind doing it if I got to a point where I'm like, right, I just don't have the time for this anymore. I would flip,
Hmm.
but I try to avoid it. If a website sat there making us income, then just leave it and just let it sit and let it make income. That's usually the rule I adopt. We are actually
Very good.
quite shy on selling, and we don't
Hmm.
usually like selling assets on. We prefer to keep them.
Okay. What's the most valuable digital asset you ever created? If you don't want to name it, maybe you can tell the industry or niche, whatever you can share.
Most valuable. It would definitely be one of the casino sites where it was ranking for like online slots, online casino games, slots.
Wow.
Um,
Wow.
so there was big ass keywords, and we were
Very
number
good.
one for many, many, many years.
Wow. Very good. Very good. If I hand over, or if someone hands over you maybe 100K dollars or maybe half a million, you have to make a digital asset out of it. What would you do?
If I'm being honest, I would probably look at going down. I would go down some type of accounting software, primarily because I know there's big players in this field, but you're connecting with business owners, and a business owner pretty much always their most entrusted person is their accountant. So if you're
Mhm.
connecting with business owners who
Mhm.
are, utilizing potentially your accountancy software or something that you've built, then there's a good inroads there to help them further develop. So I'd probably say something like this, especially with the
Very
road
good.
of AI now, it'd probably be quite easy to do.
Mm.
Um,
Mhm.
because I think we've all seen like calculators online, like VAT calculators and stuff like this. Like they
Yes.
have big volumes. And now the
Yes.
reason
Yes.
for that is obviously, well, there's 2 points to it. There's obviously people looking for VAT information, but chances are if they're doing a VAT calculator, guess what? That means they're VAT registered businesses. There's which
Mhm.
generally means there's a threshold in the UK that they have to be earning above 70, maybe 80K a month now, but 70K,
Mhm.
sorry, a year, not a month.
Mhm.
Which means they should have budget for spending on marketing.
Yes, correct, correct. Very good. Very, very insightful niche. I think a person who's listening and who's understanding can make use of it. So let's talk about the future of AI or and AI in SEO or maybe AI in casino SEO, whatever you want to quote it. Okay. So do you think AI is killing SEO or AI is helping in SEO or especially in
So I would
casino
say
SEO?
it's definitely helping in the sense that we've improved quite a lot of our processes when it comes to utilizing AI and content generation, especially.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
But it's even helping in like like I'm not a developer, and obviously I said this earlier, but I've created plugins that work with APIs that I would have never ever been able to create until I'm now using AI. And yes, it takes me probably longer than what a developer would, especially when I hit a damn issue and it keeps on
Yeah.
giving me errors. But I'm still within a day making a plugin that I might struggle to explain what I want it to do to a developer who isn't an SEO. But I can
Mm-hmm.
explain to the robot, and the robot starts to understand, like the AI starts to understand and produce something that works. That's what I think it just is helping in general. I think the main limitation is the brain and people not knowing how to use it to help.
Amazing. And what do you think? Where is the future of AI and SEO going together?
I think just together, AI SEO is becoming the new norm, and obviously understanding how to prompt. I
Hmm.
think because it's all available to everyone, but the problem is you've got the diehards who are like, oh no, I'm not going to use AI. Well, I'm sorry, Google is
Mhm.
AI. Like Google is an algorithm. It is all
Correct.
built on an AI and machine
Correct.
learning. That is all. The
Correct.
current version of AI is just machine learning. It's understanding what you're
Yes.
putting in and connecting
Mm.
entities and
Mm.
knowledge bases and
Mm.
understanding
Mm.
all of that sort of side. So if you're not
Right.
willing to entertain that, then you shouldn't really be an SEO.
Exactly. Very well said. Okay. Now let's do the rapid fire round. If you're given 10 million but could never work in SEO again, what would you do?
10 million's a good amount. I just probably wouldn't work again. No, I would probably just set up some type of local business. I don't know,
Very good.
maybe,
Hatchback.
maybe
Hatchback. Hatchback with your brother.
Yeah, exactly. I'll just do HVAC and just chill.
Okay, amazing. You'll again use your SEO and marketing skills and boost up that business, and then you have to stop the ads.
He said I couldn't work in SEO again, so I wouldn't be allowed to do that, you see. So it'd be
Okay, amazing. What's the worst business advice you've ever received?
to not invest in personal growth. But
Okay.
I think it's fundamental to actually like try and learn outside of SEO, like your own
Mhm.
personal like mindset and mental health sort of stuff. I see a lot of friends, bless them, like who have like
Mhm.
suicide, all of that sort of stuff in the past, and like
Mhm.
it's on the rise. And I think that's like something I've always been conscious of is trying to invest in mental health as well, not just business growth.
Very good. But you've not listened to that person, of
No,
course.
no, no. I definitely invest
Good.
in mental
Very good.
health. I cold plunge every day.
Oh, okay.
Every day,
Very good.
5 minutes.
What's the most ridiculous thing you've spent money on and a lot of money on?
Cars,
Okay.
cars,
Very
just Audi R8
good.
was probably my favorite car, but a lot of money wasted.
Which is your favorite car? Can you, yeah.
Audi R8
Audi R8. Oh, amazing, amazing. But I like the car. It's amazing.
is a nice car, but it's just, mate,
Too expensive.
I went through about 16 cars in 3 years, just blowing money on cars.
What?
Yeah, yeah, it's ridiculous.
Wow. Okay. When I'll come, definitely I'm going to take ride in your car. At least I'll have fun in your car. Okay. Amazing. Okay. If you wake up tomorrow in a different country with only $500 and a laptop, what's your survival plan?
Sell the laptop, book a flight back to my country, and continue working.
Very smart. Very smart. Okay. 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 Yeah, that's an answer. That's okay. That's take it.
I know it wasn't the answer you asked, but you didn't say that I didn't lose everything. You said I just walked to a different country, so I'll sell the laptop, take it back home, and
Very smart. Very smart. What's one thing people assume about you that's completely wrong?
I would say that I'm like almost like tough to talk to. I would say I'm probably quite easy to talk. I actually encourage people to talk to us, but there's almost like I think some people see us as like a big guy, so they try and like almost like a fear thing. I don't know. Just I think that's
Mhm.
usually quite wrong. Like just come up, say hello, and usually you get on quite well.
That's what I was saying, that I did not know who you are, and then we talked and we had a good conversation. Maybe if I knew who you, maybe I could also not, I would be, that's what my team was telling me, that you had such a candid relationship. The reason is that you didn't know who he was, and then you just
Yeah,
went
yeah.
off
So
and
they just naturally connect. And I
correct,
think that's
correct, yeah.
sometimes like, isn't it? There's a common phrase. I'm gonna absolutely butcher it, but it's like, don't. I'm not saying at all that I'm a celebrity, but like, don't meet your heroes or something, if that makes sense. And it's because often you've built them up in your head. Like it actually happened to me when I was doing a bodybuilding competition at one point, and there was body power. And I
Okay.
went down because I wanted to meet one of the gym guys, like an influencer. I went and met him, and it was like, it was still a good experience, but in my head, it was like going to be so much more. And it was almost just
Mm.
like a letdown. Like,
Mhm.
it did not
Mhm. I
work.
get it. I get the point. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I think
Yes,
that's
yes.
often because you've built this like
Mhm.
picture up in your
Right.
head, and it just doesn't
Correct.
work.
Yes, yes, right. Okay. If you had to delete all social media except one platform, which platform would you keep?
LinkedIn.
Wow. You're all out. You're all about business, man. Very good. Okay. Who's one entrepreneur, dead or alive, you would love to have dinner with?
Alex Hormozy.
Mm, very
I
good.
feel like it would be an interesting chat just because he's quite into the gym and that as well. He's a big guy, isn't he? So it'd be a good blended chat.
Very good. What's one opinion you have that would piss off most SEO experts?
Um, just build links. Don't don't fucking
Very
provide these bullshit metrics. Just build a link, man.
correct.
Like for
Correct.
God's
Correct.
sake.
Correct, correct. And it's very evident from the whole podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. Okay. If you get a free ticket anywhere in the world you can travel, where would you go?
I'd probably go to Japan because I haven't been there yet, and everyone says it's amazing, but I've never
It's
been.
amazing.
So I would probably go to Japan for a month.
Even I'm planning next year.
Oh yeah,
I had, yeah, I was having a word with Manik Bhan. You might
yeah.
know he just went to Japan after the Chiang Mai, and I was amazed. He showed me some pictures and all. It was amazing. I have to go next year. It's beautiful. If you could put up a billboard in any major city, what would it say? Like if you can put a billboard, and would you market it? Would you use it for fun? Whatever. What would you do?
I'd probably. What would the billboard say? The billboard would just say "take action." So I am. If someone who has done business with me has one thing to say about is I am more of a serial starter. So like I will take action and get things started. I then need to build the team around it to keep it going. That's the character flaw as well. But like, yeah, just take action, just start. One
Very
step,
good.
one step
Wow.
at a time.
Wow. Wow. Very good. What's one daily habit or mindset shift?
So daily mindset shift, I would say I daily do ice plunging.
Okay.
So that is something I just is like an almost an unconditional. I do it every morning, or at least by lunchtime. I've done a 5 minute plunge.
Okay. And where people can connect with you? What's the best way the people can connect you?
Yeah, so just LinkedIn on my personal website, karlhudson.co.uk. It's always just reach out, and I'm sure I'll be able to help.
Amazing. And I think it's enough. I've taken a lot of your time, and I know that you have to go now. You might be thinking that this guy is not letting me go, but it was an amazing. Thank you for sticking till the end of the conversation with us. We hope you found as much value as we did while creating it. If you enjoyed the podcast and want us to bring more such influential guests, then please don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. Honestly, each like and subscribe help us keep going. It keeps us motivated to make such content which is filled with insights and strategies for you. If you enjoyed the podcast and want us to bring more such influential guests, then don't forget to like and subscribe. Honestly, each like or a subscribe help us keep going and make such content which is filled with insights and valuable knowledge for you. We'd love to hear from you in the comments. Anything you would like to tell us about the podcast? Whom do you want to see in the next podcast? And what kind of questions do you want to ask? And hey, just don't keep the conversation with yourself. Share this podcast with at least one person, can be a friend, colleague, or a family member, or anyone you think can benefit from learning something valuable or getting a fresh perspective. After all, one conversation, one perspective can truly change someone's life. And thank you for tuning in. We'll see you in the next episode of the Business Playbook by Gundeep.